Yes, everyone, how are we? How are we? So, simple match rating video. Let's get on to it from the game. The great win against Nottingham Forest yesterday. Let's go. First one, start off the keeper as usual. Start from the back. 6.5 for Eli Millier. I just put understands the system. Good ball distribution. Quiet game. I don't think there's much to say. I think he understood the ball distribution. He knew where to pass it most of the time. Looked a lot more composed today. Didn't have much to do. 6.5. Fairly basic. Yeah, next we'll go on to fullback because this is, for me, this is one of the biggest changes in this game from previous performances. Sam Byron, for me, was really good. And he looks like a player who is settling well when he's getting fitness, when he's getting to train under this system of play. Sam Byron looks like a player who can play that system quite comfortably. And what I put there was good balance to the team. Now, this is the same with Luke Ayling, as you can see. Well, I don't mean balance as in a physical attribute. I mean balance as in a tactical attribute. So what the fullbacks did really well, and we were discussing it on previous shows about the inconsistency of one side to the other. The right side was a lot more attacking. The left side was a lot more defensive. Now, again, you do this based on the attributes of the individuals you have to put there. Luke Ayling's naturally a more attacking fullback than Gelhardt, who is arguably not even a fullback. Even though he's clearly been adapted in that role. So you had a lot more advancement in one side than the other. That does leave on balance. But what we saw good this week was both fullbacks had the ability to go forward effectively and get back. Now, what happened when they both went forward, we saw often you'd see Shaq just sit in that right back position to create a four. And I think the forward movement of both fullbacks, both Ayling and Sam Byron, was very effective. There's a big reason which allows us to create overloads, create width, and create more attacking options going forward and throughout the thirds. Leo Gelhardt, yeah, so give them a 7. Solid performance from both. Leo Gelhardt for me, yeah, just didn't have much to do when he came on, really. Give him a 5, quiet game, not his fault. Came into the game, I don't think they had a winger. If they didn't do out, did they? It's fine. Yeah, not much to talk about. It's hard to talk about these players that came on with like 20 minutes ago, especially defensively. The centre backs, real good pairing this one was. What about Liam Cooper? I put 7. The only reason I put Charlie higher, I'll go into that sec. Won every aerial battle, and this is the same for both of them. They were dominant in the air. Dominant. Which is, it's all good being good with your feet. It's all good, being able to progress the ball. But in the championship, teams are going to try and go long if they can't go through you. That's a big thing they'll do. A lot of teams will try that. Having aerially dominant centre-backs is huge in any team in the championship or in any team in the world. You look at the best teams in the world, you even look at teams like Manchester City, they're aerially dominant as well with Ruben Diaz. So that is a big attribute you need as a centre-back. It's a no-brainer. And Liam Cooper epitomises that. He won every single, I don't know about everyone, but he won most battles I saw. Good partnerships. So centre-backs seem more comfortable with Liam Cooper next to them. I'm getting that vibe. It was the same with Jeremiah Mullen. It was the same with Pascal Strout. It's the same with Charlie Cresswell. They seem to look more comfortable and feel more comfortable with Liam Cooper, and that's the leadership side he's got. We saw the quote, which is phenomenal. Anyone that complains about that, you need that in a captain. That is a leader trait right there. The best players are not always the leaders and the captains. They're the ones who pull you through it when it's bad. The reason I give him a 7, made one mistake, which could have led to a goal. Recovered from that well, though. Charlie Cresswell, on the other hand, I thought was phenomenal last night. This is the type of player we need to see consistently. The other day was more of him coming back into it. He'd not been at training long. It was his first game under Daniel Farke. So it made sense that he was rusty. Very good, very dominant in every area of the game. I thought he passed the ball forward a lot better, a lot quicker. There was more options when he played this time, which did help. Especially with Ampadu just always being in there. Excellent drive as well. He progressed the ball forward by running with it a few times. He seems to be quicker going forward with the ball than he is running backwards. A bit nuts. Yeah, Charlie Cresswell was really good. 8 out of 10. Yeah, the final centre back, Pascal, came on, had little to do, to be honest. So it's hard to mark someone when they have little to do. They don't do much. Give him a 5 out of 10. Yeah, nothing to do. Fairly straightforward for him. Jamie bit of a discussion about Jamie Shackleton. Now, I don't think it really was as bad as people were saying, to be honest. And I actually think it was one of his I think it was his best performance of pre-season. Again, people say what's the level, but what I'll say is I think he uses attributes well. I wrote that down. Parker's trying to find a way in which he can most effectively use Jamie Shackleton. All right. Now, I don't think he'll start by any means. I think we'll bring a player in, but I think when looking at attributes and how to use a player, especially if they're a squad option or not, whether they're here or not, but with Shackleton, I think the attributes he had were used better yesterday. I think Farker designed a way in which they were better. Working with Ampadu really helped Shackleton use his energy and then actually use his reading of the game a lot better. I think his passing was better. I think he understood the simple things. He progressed it wide a lot more than he did previously. He didn't just go to the guy 2 yards away from him. He actually drove a little bit with the ball, took a bit of a risk, and give the ball wide. I think it was a better performance from him pre-season, in this pre-season for Jamie Shackleton. Not spectacular by any means. Obviously, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it was a better performance. This one was a better performance. Yeah, these two. What can I say about these two? I know everyone's going to look at Ampadu and say only 7.5, right? I'll be honest with you guys, right? If Ampadu gets 7.5, that's an Ampadu 7.5. I can't give this guy 9 and 10s every week. Do you know what I mean? He's probably one of our best performers, but I'm basing him. I'm being more harsh with him now because I know his level. His level's up there now, right? So 7.5 is an Ampadu 7.5, not a team 7.5. Yeah, he was excellent again. Top ball progression, dominant in possession. And I can't stress how easier the game is with him in it. Do you know what I mean? It just feels easier. It feels like we can get the ball from the back to the front in 3 seconds when he's playing. He's so good at maintaining possession. He tries a lot of progressive passes. 2 or 3 of them didn't work. But then what we did after that is the shape afterwards was excellent. We didn't allow any quick counterattacks. Forest were poor. But, Ampadu is just a complete midfielder in terms of attributes. He can do everything. And in the right system that, suits the guy, he's going to absolutely thrive. And we are seeing that right now in the 2 games he's played. It's been easy for him. It looks easy in that role. He just sits in front of the back 4, progresses the balls forward and moves up with it. He's always in a pocket. He's always an option. He always knows where the next pass is going. He always reads the game. He's 3 steps ahead of everyone else on the pitch. He's a brilliant player. And 7.5 is an Ampadu 7.5. If 2 or 3 more of those progressive passes had come off, it'd have been an 8.59. That is it. What a player. Archie Gray again, when he came on, I thought he was brilliant. Forgetting this guy. Well, we're not forgetting. We all know this guy is really young. And the way he plays for a 17-year-old is just levels above what I've seen from most players of his age. His awareness, and that's one thing I really like about him, his awareness to pick up pockets and to know where the space is. When he drives with the ball, he seems to know exactly what he's going to do with each foot before the defender even comes close to him. He's so composed in those areas for a young man. I don't mind, again, that he loses the ball, because he does lose it quite a bit when he tries these runs and tries some risky passes. I don't care. I like the fact he's doing that. So will Daniel Farke, I believe. He's got a real bright future and he's going to be a big impact this year. And when every time he comes on the pitch in some way, he does impact it. And I actually think with his performances, he's stepped ahead of Darko JB right now in terms of pecking order on the team. I genuinely believe that. Slightly different roles, of course, but most likely they, with Ampadu being at 6, they will most likely be the other midfielder in there. Yeah, Archie Gray was really good. 7 out of 10. Solid player again when he came on. Really played a big part in that goal as well. Darko and Poveda we'll get on to. Darko JB, you know what? I liked him when he came on. I think he grew into the half. So yeah, it was always an option, like Ampadu was. The difference with that was what he did with the ball. Now, you've got to remember as well, Darko JB came on with different players to Ampadu. Less forward runners, more ball to feet type players. When Ampadu won, he had Dan James running on one wing and Sinisterra with his phenomenal movement on the other. So I think when he came on, he kept the ball well. His passing was good. It was just very basic and simple. What I want Darko JB on my task to Darko JB is use your attributes more. Like he did in the Man United game. He's really good. We got the ball. He turned quickly. Them really good turns he's got, and he drove forward with it and he gave the ball forward. But I guess game state, you're 2-0 up, you want to practice maintaining the lead and being simple and basic with the ball and holding the ball and keeping it, which he did really well. And when he came on, he showed he can do that. I just want to see him express himself a bit more in terms of forward going, because he's got those attributes. It's not like I'm saying I need him to gain those attributes. He's got them. But yeah, he was fine. He was good. He didn't do anything wrong. Did his role well, kept the ball ticking, kept the ball moving, good passing, decent positions. 6 out of 10. Probably could be a 6.5. Ian Poveda, people. I just looked very bright and creative. Genuinely right. And before we talk about him, so everyone's seen him. What I like and what people need to remember is everyone talks about, oh, it's only one game, he's done it. Now, as a coach going into a team, what you do straight away is get rid of any misconceptions. You get rid of any BS. You get rid of any mentions of how players played, right? So, for example, Ian Poveda, he will have had people saying, oh yeah, he did this, but then his attitude at times was this, is that. Daniel Farke would have said, right, that's great, don't care. Because this is now him going into a new side. Everyone is equal. And I have witnessed that with uni. You know, people have certain opinions of certain people and players. When new coaches come in, they ratify that. You're aware of it, you get told. But it doesn't matter. That's the past, this is now. And what I saw from Ian Poveda yesterday was a guy who looked like he wanted to play football at Leeds United. And he wanted to start and prove himself. That is a big thing. We all remember when he played against Manchester City and he tore Benjamin Mendy apart. That was a great performance. And then it kind of tailed off after that. Pep Guardiola, and there's someone tweeted me this, and it's true, Pep Guardiola gave Poveda to Marcelo Bielsa to try and develop that player because he knew the talent he had. He's been at Chelsea, Arsenal, Barcelona, City. Guy's got talent. It's just about finding the player consistently, and whether that's down to him, he's had a lot of injuries. But, you know, we've heard stories, Mick McCarthy said last year, you know, when he got took off, he apparently left the stadium. These little things need to change, and he's got to understand when he's not playing like he did yesterday. He didn't play, remember, he didn't play against Monaco. But what he did yesterday when he came on was he told Daniel Farke, that's me. Daniel Farke said, and it was on the YEP, that's great, I need to see it again. And that's exactly the point. We've seen him do this once or twice, but we need to see it consistently. But what he was very good. The way he dominated the positions and the areas he played in was honestly really well. And it's like a new signing in the sense that individual performance. Imagine you bring a player in, right? Imagine you bringing a new player. We brought in a new number 10 tomorrow. And his first game, he came on and did what Poveda did. Genuinely, we'd be like, this guy's going to tear up the championship, right? The reason people are sceptical is based on he's not a new player. And we've not seen that from him since he's been here, really. Which makes sense. But this is what I mean about attributes and how our players are good footballers. At the end of the day, it's about finding the best way, and down to them as well as the coach to find their best attributes. He has good attributes. His ball control, his skills, his technical ability is insane. His movement is very good. You just need the player to understand that he's not always going to start 90 minutes every game, and that process is difficult, and he's got to work hard the entire season to maintain a place in a team. And if Ian Poveda can do that, we've seen the talent he's got. It's there on show. He's got to do that, though. He's got to take Daniel Farke's message of keep doing it to heart and keep doing it. Because that's the path. That's the way for him. Yeah, 8 out of 10. It was phenomenal when he came on. Joffe. Right, direct one of the ball, final product off. Yeah, I think what I really liked about Joffe is he did drop. So he's beginning to understand the role. What he did a lot well in this game, I suppose. Does that make sense? Don't know, don't care. I suppose the last game was he dropped deeper, which you need the number 10. The number 10 effectively can be a midfielder or can be a second striker. That's the type of role you need. Very, very complex role. But he dropped nice. When Ampadu made it push forward, he'd drop, it'd be an option, and he'd progress the ball well. And that is an underrated thing of this Daniel Farke team. You need to progress the ball. That is vital. You don't do it, you just end up playing long balls or down the side, which you just get caught out. Yeah, just did lack that little bit of cutting edge in the end. Showed good glimpses of it with the pass through to Poveda and stuff like that. Just consistency in that role. I still think Joffrey's going to be a really good squad option this year. I think he's a good guy to bring off the bench. Or if he does continue to develop, a guy who has the attributes again to do more than that. But for me, just based on performance, people over exaggerating it. It wasn't terrible by any means of the imagination. I thought it was fine. I thought some of his passing was decent. Some of his movement was decent. Just got caught a little bit sometimes. Didn't quite understand certain aspects of the role. But that's something, you develop as the season goes on. People acting like pre-season and then you stop developing and training. No, you continue all season. Dan James, I thought was very good. Look, what I'm seeing from Dan James this pre-season is more confidence every game. Every game he's more and more confident. And what I liked about Dan James yesterday, not only his directness and his pace, which we know about, his crossing was really good. He could genuinely, his crossing yesterday, there was one across, there was two across, I think, like low ones. Yeah, there was from each side, which should have been goals, at least one of them. The lofted crosses were really good. I actually thought his set pieces were really good. He kind of lofts it and gives your centre-backs a chance. His crossing distribution was brilliant. And that's the way. Like, Daniel James, for his speed, he isn't good at 1v1, as in facing the guy in front of him, trying to get past him. He's not great at that. But what Daniel James is good at is shifting it, using his pace to shift past the defender to the side, crossing one in, or being off the ball, beating the defender by being quicker than him in a through ball, or a 1-2. That's what Dan James is good at in terms of getting past defenders. That's how he does it. He's not going to do step over. He's not going to jink one way and the other and beat a fullback. He's going to use his pace in other ways, and clearly a decent delivery. And I like it. He's going to impact this year. I've been saying this. He's going to have an impact. How big it is, we'll see. We'll see how much he can develop. Yeah, really well. Really good yesterday, I thought, Dan James. Always a threat. Good crosses, 7 out of 10. We won't go too much into Rutter. I thought he came on. Some good touches, some a bit heavy. When he first came on, he was a bit heavy, but he grew into the role. He kind of dropped deeper a little bit, which allowed more of Poveda and the wingers to have a bit more space, have a bit more options in behind. I like it when he does that. He's a better 10 than he's a striker for me, or he plays the role of a 10 better. Whether the position of a striker in this system is going to be adapted to be more of that false 9, potentially. I don't know. Let's see. I like him better in that role. He has a big impact for the goal. I think he's quite good at being direct. Again, I just think he's better when he's got a bit of space. He's running at defenders as opposed to back to goal. But for the goal, he did really well. He shoved the defender off and he set Poveda up. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Solid. Nothing to scream about. Came on. Did all right. Bamford, good goal. Really good goal, actually. Sat the keeper down. He did a few. It was a bit inconsistent in terms of final result. He lost the ball a bit. But what I liked about Bamford was when we're deep, at the edge of their box, he's really good at little flicks, little movements. The little flick he played through to Shaq, who had a shot and hit it quite well, but at the keeper, stuff like that is really good and creative. It doesn't look right moving. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't look. I don't know. Obviously, his injuries have affected it. I don't know. But his finish was really good. He scored a goal. I thought he was fine. 6.5. Sinistera, nice touches, nice movement. Probably not his best performance pre-season, but still better than most. He's just really good in there. What can we say about Sinistera? Stay, please. He's just really good. He's just really good in there. Even in games where it's not his best pre-season, still one of the better performers on the pitch. He's just really good. What can I say? He can play anyway. He can do all. He hit the post from nothing. He's a really good player. 7 out of 10, Sinistera. Stop it. Last two. Struggled again. I thought his goal involvement was alright in terms of his movement and where he was positionally. It helped progress the move, right? But, yeah. I'm looking at wingers, and Somerville in his short stint showed more pre-season. Poveda showed more pre-season. Sinistera showed more. And Dan James showed more. It's a game against Hearts, which I imagine he'll start in. That's his time, if he's staying. Even if he's not, to prove himself and show what he can do. He's not shown it yet. I I give him a 5.5. I thought he was fairly quiet, fairly ineffective in times. Look, we know his quality. He seems to struggle to learn new systems a bit. He's a bit more of a raw player. You just give him the ball and you run at players. That's his style. Yeah, I'm going to give him a bit more time. I'm going to watch the Hearts game. Mateo Joseph, yeah, again, nice movement. He's good at that. He draws fouls. He's very good at it on the wing. I still think he's a striker. But if we're pursuing this wing thing, he's got to keep learning and developing, and he'll keep getting better. A bit too quiet, but again, came on later on. Didn't get a lot of time to express himself, really, did he? But yeah, it was fine. 5 out of 10 because, again, similar to Strauch and some others, came on, didn't have much to do, really. A lot of the movement when he came on was Poveda. So, yeah, he did all right. Fine. 5 out of 10, Mateo Joseph. That's the thing. Man of the match. Man of the match. Who am I giving man of the match? Let me know who you guys think was man of the match. Oh, my earphone's just fallen out. Let me know who you guys thought was man of the match. That's all. But the person I'm going to choose is between two. And it's really difficult. It is really difficult, but I'm going to go with Ian Poveda. I was going to go for Ampadu. You could also go for Creswell. They are 100% fine. I wouldn't be bothered at all by that. I'm just going a bit rogue. I thought in terms of impact coming off the bench, he's the one that changed that game for me. We were already winning, but he changed it. He was the one where everyone went, he was good, wasn't he? Yeah, Ian Poveda. Just had everything. In that 10 role, he was really good. I was shocked. Genuinely looked like a complete different player. His feet looked a lot more, he's always good at skills, but he just looked so sure of where I was really good. 8 out of 10 for me. Could be Creswell, could be Ampadu, could be a few other players. Byron was really good, to be honest. Forgetting people, Sinistera, Dan James. Yeah, top performers. But anyway, that's it. My man of match in Poveda for the preseason. Very good performance, very good team performance. I tweeted a well-coached side. And what I mean by that is everyone knew exactly what their role was. The execution is getting better. It's not there yet. It's not going to be there yet. Start of the season, it's not going to be there yet. It's a process. You need to keep working on it. It's getting better. Everyone's slowly becoming on the same page. We need to bring in more players. We need more depth. We need a few more to step up. And we need to know who we're keeping. But in terms of its whole performance, I really enjoyed that one against the Premier League side. Look, missing some of their gems, obviously. But Premier League side, never the doubt. So, happy with that. Very happy with that. Let me know what you guys think about it all. Yeah, I appreciate all support as usual. And I'll see you whenever I do another video.